Buongiorno a tutti and welcome back to Crave, where passions are celebrated, stories come alive, and Italy and USA come together in one voice. In today's episode, we are joined by Chef Mattia Marcelli from Ristorante 54 Mente as we step into the kitchen for a special cooking show. Stay tuned. We will also visit L'Angolo della Lingua Italiana with Vania, and later we will dive into the world of 49ers football with Monica Madrid, CEO and founder of Football is Sexy. Let's get started. Buongiorno, Alex.
Buongiorno, Samantha.
So today for the check-in, I have a question. This question:
Okay.
What is something that feeds your soul?
For me, I think it's sharing my 49ers fandom through fashion, content, or conversations, like turning something that I love into something that I can create or wear is something that definitely feeds my soul. What about you?
Beautiful. For me, today's episode, right? It's
Yeah.
all start with food. So Crave was born from a simple idea to reconnect it with our heritage through culture, language, and the dishes that carry, our story. And for me, it became a space where people could really celebrate what they love, share their passion, and even discover new ones along the way.
Yeah.
Especially today, as we welcome Chef Mattia Marcelli and his Roma recipes, we continue to build in that bridge, one dish, one story at a time. That's really how I feel today. Just be a Crave, make me feel happy.
Yeah. I love it. Let's get started.
Yes. And now join us straight from Ristorante 54 Mente in San Francisco is Chef Mattia Marcelli. Today he will take us into the heart of the Lazio region with a traditional dish rich in flavor, history, and the soul, pasta alla matriciana. Chef Mattia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Samantha, for having me here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the pasta alla matriciana and what makes it so special to the region of Lazio?
Yes, of course. So the matriciana is one of the quintessential pasta of the Roman cuisine. It was born in the town of Amatrice, which is a little town close to the Rieti city, and has become like a super popular pasta together with the carbonara and the cacio e pepe in the Italian restaurants business.
Mattia, we are ready.
For the pasta, we're going to use a bucatini. That's a little thick spaghetti with a hole inside. This is the typical pasta for la matriciana. It's a rusticella d'Abruzzo, one of my favorite brands that I use on the restaurant because it takes 9 minutes to cook. So I know it can be a long time, 9 minutes, but for the bucatini, that's the time that you need to make a perfect al dente pasta. Bucatini can be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the brand. There is a lot of good brand out there. Rusticella is one of my favorite because of the texture and the timing that allow me to keep up with the order here at the restaurants. So once we drop the pasta, we're gonna start making the sauce here for the matriciana. I have all the ingredients over here. So we're gonna use guanciale. We get it imported from Italy, nice and fatty, as you can see. This is the way you want it. Don't be scared about the fat. It's gonna dissolve into the pan as well. So we're gonna put some guanciale on the pan to let it sweat. So for this recipe, I don't use any olive oil. I just use the fat from the guanciale to basically allow the guanciale to cook in its own fat without adding any more olive oil, especially now with all this, craziness around the world that is happening. Olive oil is really expensive. Please do not waste olive oil. So once the pasta is cooking, I'm gonna show you how to make the sauce. It's super easy. We just need a few ingredients, which are the guanciale that I show you. Then here we have grated pecorino romano. This is already grated. And we have pomodoro pelati right here. So I use tomato. I lightly cook a little bit. So that's allow us to get off the acidity from the tomato and have a little bit a better sauce, less acidic for the amatriciana. So, the funny part, every time people ask me about, oh, this is not the original matriciana. Some people put onions, some people put chili flakes, some people put pancetta, some people put guanciale. These are millions of ideas. My grandma used to make it with pancetta because that's what she used to have in the house, and to make me happy, she used to make the matriciana with pancetta. It's fine. Uh, we, as a Roman, we imported the matriciana to Rome, and people start adding onions, start switching pancetta to guanciale. Those are totally fine. There is no original recipe because the original matriciana is without tomato sauce. It's white. It's what in Rome we call the gricia. So there is no such a thing. Oh, this is not original. Us as a Roman, we imported the recipe and we make it ours. And everybody on a different household used to make the matriciana with a little kick, maybe with chili flakes, maybe with black pepper, guanciale, pancetta. So for all the people that say the matriciana, this is not the original recipe, the matriciana was born white. So then it's up to you to make it as you like. So right here, we are sweating the guanciale. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I use for both my matriciana and my carbonara. So to have the consistency of the guanciale still a little crispy, I take off some of the guanciale and I let it rest on, you can put on a plate. I use a metal plate because we're going to keep it here next to us. This is how the guanciale should be. Nice and crispy. Don't burn it because then you're gonna change all the flavor from it. Then we're gonna add tomato sauce. And let it cook gently. The sauce, so as I mentioned, I pre-cook my tomato sauce because if you do it from the pelati, for having like a sweetness, tomato sauce is usually like 10-15 minutes. It really depends about the quantity. We pre-cook our tomato sauce. So, because the more the tomato are raw, the more acidity they have. Once we cook it, we took it off the acidity from the tomato to have just a smoother sauce. So usually it's like, I would say a 3 minutes cooking time if you cook your pelati or tomato sauce. Otherwise, if you use a pelati or fresh tomato, it's usually 15 minutes. But I always try because every pelati brand is different. They have different acidity. But you can recognize when the tomato sauce is ready just by tasting it. Another thing, do never add sugar to the tomato sauce.
That was my next question. Thank
Let's
you.
buy good pelati. Let's not buy the cheap pelati. Let's buy good pelati, and
Uh-huh.
we don't add sugar. Salt is allowed, pepper is allowed, basil is allowed, no sugar in the tomato sauce, please. So, and another thing, when I see when the tomato sauce is cooked, when the sauce for matriciana is cooked, I can see because it's reached the thickness that we wanted. It doesn't have to be too liquidy, but it has to be to all the pasta. Especially every time that we're gonna saute the pasta, we wanna reach that texture and that thickness. That basically you're not eating a soup, or either you're not eating like a pasta with no sauce. So you have to really have, you master with years of cooking. You have to really get it nice, and the sauce has to be together with the pasta. So when you eat it, you don't have to eat the pasta with a fork and a spoon to get the sauce. The sauce should be, catch by the bucatini, obviously. The sauce is always ready. A good trick that I use for the matriciana as well is when the sauce is ready, I turn it off, I let it cool down a little bit, and I add the pecorino already into the sauce. So, the sauce already is gonna get all the pecorino, because imagine we're using 3 ingredients at the end. Bucatini, of course, has less flavor, it's more for the ketchup, but you use guanciale, pecorino, and tomato sauce. So make sure all these 3 ingredients, they have to be really good. We're using the guanciale imported from Italy. We're using the pecorino romano imported from Italy, and the pelati as well, we imported from Italy. Although we have really good pelati here in California as well. There is a lot of brands that they're coming out right now. For we are lucky to live in California, where a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetable, actually, they are really really good. So once the sauce reaches the thickness that we want, it's not too soupy. Gonna let it cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna add my favorite, pecorino. And we let it rest. Just like this, that's the amatriciano smell. That's how I call it. You can smell the amatriciana. That I love it. We cook our bread in the house. We cook our focaccia in the house. Sometimes I can just dip a little bread, a little focaccia inside the sauce. I remember when my mom on Sunday, in Italy, your mom and your dad work all the time. So Sunday is the day that she was waking up extra early, making the big ragu or the big sauce. And I used to remember like waking up maybe at 10, 11 in the morning with my dad, like bring it up like crunchy, just made loaf of bread. And I used to just, kind of crack the bed with my hand and go into the ragu and start eating it. And my mom screaming at me like, "Get off the kitchen!" and like chasing me around. And, sometimes it's funny because I go out on the floor to talk to the customer and they make you laugh because, we used to call it at home, we used to call la legge della casa, the house law, meaning that the plate needs to be clean. I remember,
Yeah,
whoever was
yeah,
going to be finished first, you go showing my dad and my mom is like, the house law, look,
right.
the plate is clean. You can put it back. You don't need to wash it. You know, that's the best compliment you can do, to
Yeah.
your mom or to your chef. Perfect. Pasta is ready. I like mine extra al dente, especially the bucatini. The
Mhm.
pasta always should be al dente, but if you overcook a bucatini, it's a huge mistake. Huge, huge. So we put the sauce back to the fire. We put this pasta inside. I like some fresh ground pepper to give a extra kick to the pasta. And then we start sauteing the pasta. And you can see because we add the pecorino into the sauce. I'm gonna show you
Right,
here. The pasta is already like kind of creamy. It has this white
right.
coat, which is the pecorino that is hugging the bucatini. It's like a love story almost.
Mattia, by the way, my lunch is at 1:30, so I might need to come stop. I might need to stop by.
Where I can send it this pasta to you. Okay? Instead of that on a plate, I'm gonna put it on a to-go box. A little bit more pecorino. Fire is off. I'm gonna plate it right here. So you can
Beautiful.
see.
There you go.
Mm.
We're gonna finish with the crispy guanciale.
Ah,
So we put it
Yeah.
apart
nice.
because I like the texture. So the thing is, I like the guanciale to be in the tomato sauce a little bit. It becomes
Uh-huh.
kind of mushy, but it gives a lot of flavor to the sauce. And then I
Right.
like the crunchiness of the guanciale at the end. So I'm gonna show you one piece. This is a perfect piece of guanciale. The fat is translucent. The meat is not burnt. We put crispy guanciale on top, and then we're gonna finish with a little bit more pecorino cheese on top. And this is my amatriciana.
Wow,
Wow.
Mattia,
Samantha, you can
beautiful.
smell it.
I think I do. Let me see.
My God, this is for me. So aglio e olio, when you're cooking aglio e olio, is one of those flavors that for me like enhance my appetite. And the matriciana, when I smell the matriciana, the
Yeah.
guanciale with the tomato sauce and pecorino, I'm like, I'm ready to eat. This is the art.
Oh, perfetto.
So good.
Mattia, beside your work, what is your true passion and what keeps you going?
Uh, family tradition, food. That's what my parents taught me. Uh, so that's what keeping going. Make people happy. Bring my tradition. Bring my roots. Uh, Especially here in America, where there's so many different kind of cuisine. I really want to bring my
Right.
piece, of food from my household, from my city here in United States.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Chef Mattia.
Of
Thank you. It
course,
was wonderful. And I can't wait to have you back next season.
I'll be here. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you for having me.
Crave is proudly partnered with the Consul General of Italy and the Italian Culture Institute of San Francisco. Their support allows us to celebrate and share Italian culture, language, and innovation with a wider audience. For more information and upcoming events, visit their websites at the link below. And now it's time for the Italian language spotlight. Join Vania for L'Angolo della Lingua Italiana, where she takes us through the beauty of the Italian language. Vania, a te la parola.
Grazie, ciao Samantha, ciao Alex, buongiorno a tutti e bentornati all'angolo della lingua. La parola della settimana è magari, magari. Magari ha due significati. Il primo significato è perhaps, maybe. Facciamo un esempio. Non so quando torno. I don't know when I'll be back. Magari domani, magari stasera, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, magari, maybe, perhaps. Il secondo significato è invece I wish, if only. So as an exclamation when we wish for something to be real. Per esempio, vai a Firenze? Magari, purtroppo non posso. Do you go to Florence this summer? I wish, if only I could go. O hai finito di lavorare per oggi? Are you done with your work for today? Magari, I wish. I have to work a lot today, so I'm not done. Magari. So, magari is very useful when you want to use an expression for something that you really want but it's impossible. Ok? So, magari potete iscrivervi a una classe di italiano. Maybe you can enroll in one of the many Italian classes that the consulate is supporting. Magari. E per oggi è tutto. Ciao!
This episode is brought to you by Mona Lisa Maremonti, a stunning Italian restaurant in San Francisco, California, where tradition meets elegance. Let's take a quick look.
My name is Vasilio Floresi, and welcome to my family restaurant, Mona Lisa Maremonti.
Mona Lisa Mare e Monti serves classic Italian dishes, crafted with top-quality local and seasonal produce, in this charming, romantic setting located in the heart of North Beach's Little Italy. Mona Lisa specializes in seafood and steaks and fine dining. Everything is fresh, and all the pastas are homemade in-house daily. All our fresh ingredients come from local produce and farmers' markets. No matter what time of year, you can be sure you're eating the best of the season. Mona Lisa is best known for our bistecca alla Fiorentina, which is a 24-ounce porterhouse steak. Our seafood is delivered to us daily by our local fishermen. Some of our most popular seafood dishes are bigoli frutti di mare, homemade bigoli pasta with prawns, mussels, calamari, and clams. Enjoy our pappardelle al cinghiale, Homemade pappardelle pasta in a 4-hour slow-braised wild boar shoulder. With decades of experience cooking in the finest restaurants, our chef is excited to present our vision to you and all our guests. Our caring and committed staff make sure you have a fantastic experience with us. We refuse to compromise on quality in our restaurant. Welcome to Mona Lisa Mare e Monti. We look forward to seeing you soon. Ciao!
For today's 49ers offseason update, we're thrilled to have a very special guest with us. Monica Madrid is the CEO and founder of Football is Sexy, a dynamic brand that's changing the game for women in football. A die-hard 49ers fan, she's been making a major impact in both football and beyond with her empowering platform. Monica, welcome to Crave.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Very much looking forward to talking all things women in football.
Yeah, so let's jump right into it. Can you tell us the story behind Football is Sexy? What inspired you to create it, and how has it evolved since you first launched?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, the simple answer, I've been a football fan, diehard fan my entire life. Like I do not remember my life without football. And that would be thanks to, my father, Joe Madrid, who was a diehard San Francisco 49er fan. He never said he wanted a boy, but I'm going to guess he might have wanted a boy, but out came me. And I think he was like, well, I'm going to take her anyway. Let's go. And so he really was a sports fan. So football was our main sport, but of course, because I was from the Bay, San Francisco Giants, Warriors. I'm a Bay girl. Even though I grew up out here in Los Angeles. So I've always been the odd one out. Everybody's Dodgers, Lakers, Rams here, and so I was always getting into fights ever since verbal collisions since I was younger. And, so the Football is Sexy thing, I had no idea this was going to come about until my father actually passed of cancer in 2000, I think it was 16. Yeah, it's been like almost, yeah. When I was going through his things, I was his only child. I just started seeing all the pictures, and I just realized that like all our favorite memories were wrapped around football in particular, sports, but mainly football. And all the shirts that I had to go through, I'm like, I'm not throwing that one away because I remember us being at this game, or it just really hit me. And then it really dawned on me, like, how do people not know football? Like women, men. I was just like, and what if they didn't have a Joe Madrid like me to teach them the game? Because it's a very complicated game. So I always kind of thought that after he passed, and then I wasn't able to go to any games for like 2 years because my heart was just broken, and what we used to do together, and then finally I decided to go. And before that season, I was like, you know what? I'm going to teach this game to whoever wants to learn it. And that was the first boot camp I ever did. I put it on Facebook at the time, and 40 women showed up. And it was like we had pizza and champagne and drinks, and I literally taught the game of football. And I was like, well, what am I going to call it? And it came to me like this: Football is Sexy. And that's really where it was born.
Oh, that's amazing. I have that kind of special connection with football, and my dad as well. So I think it's beautiful to hear that that type of story.
Thank you. I knew I was onto something by looking at these women and seeing how much fun they had. But I really went all in about 2.5 years ago and decided to quit my good paying job to do this. And now, of course, Football Sexy is on, social media now. We've got a podcast. We've got the first app to ever teach football. Football Sexy. It's free. We have merch. So we really are making a splash in the world of football, especially for women. We're not we're not exclusive to women, but it is where we give women a voice in football. So I'm really excited for the future.
Okay, you mentioned it, so I have to ask you. So you're a huge 49ers fan. What's your take on the 49ers draft picks this year, and how are you feeling heading into the upcoming season?
Oh man, great question again. The draft. It's always scary, right? Because you just never know. And historically, and I'm a Niners fan, but I feel like I can say this, historically, we haven't done great with our first round picks. Like they just haven't been, they've been okay, but they haven't been like, we haven't knocked it out of the park. Um, I think we did that with Nick Bosa, but that's been a while, right? So, and not to take away from some of our draft, I love Ricky, but like that make a huge impact, right? So, Michael Williams from Georgia, I love that he's a dog. I love that he has, comes from winning pedigree. So, I'm really excited to see what he can do. He's on the other side of Nick Bosa, edge rusher. And a lot of people are going back and forth about our draft. Some people say they rated us a D, like a D, like not an A D. And some, say we killed it. And so that just goes to show you that you just never know. I personally, I'm excited. This is the first time we ever had, no, not the first time. Our first 5 picks were all defensive. The last time we did that was in 1981, right? And that was the year that we won our first Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
if history repeats itself, I'd be so okay with that, right? That was the year we
Yeah.
picked up, I think, Ronnie Lott as well. So, hey, if we can turn this around quickly and we have a lot of plug and play guys, I think Mikel's going to start. I think, we've got that defense now that we got Robert Saleh back. I think he's going to get these guys plugged in and dialed in. We're geared to stop the run. Now we just have to make sure we stop, we got to get that pass rush going. And then we got to pay Brock. So there's all these things, right? We got we got Kittle signed, gonna, end up in the Hall of Fame in red and gold. So I'm very excited about that. But as far as the draft goes, I just think these guys got to be ready to go. They got to be, there's not like this huge depth chart. Like we've got to be ready to go and make a run because as you guys probably know, the Niners, the Levi Stadium are hosting the Super Bowl this year. So I would like to be the third team to play the Super Bowl in our own stadium and win in front of our own fans. So there's a lot of excitement right now in the Bay, let me tell you.
No, 100%. And I think, too, with Robert Saleh being back, I think not only would that just be incredible and special, but I think he'll have them kind of prepared and ready to go to start as soon as the season starts.
Yeah, I think the vibes are going to be 100% better than they've been in the last couple of years. And I'm an advocate for that locker room vibe. That we can't have any tension. We can't have any holdouts this year. We need to get everybody locked in before training camp and let's go. Like I want to start yelling, but I don't want to be too loud on your podcast. But like, I'm all excited. Like, let's go. Let's go.
How do you balance staying true to your Niners fandom while also managing to grow a brand like Football is Sexy that includes other teams, not only the Niners?
That is such a great question, and nobody's ever asked me that. It, in the beginning, was very difficult, quite frankly. As I'm a huge football fan. A lot of people don't know this, but like I'm a huge football fan. But of course, I'm a diehard bleed red and gold. So when I started the page, I wanted a place for women of all teams to show their fandom knowledge and passion. Even if I don't like your team, right? Even if you're my rival. So in the beginning, I was posting a lot of content about the Niners. One, because that's who I know the best. That's who I grew up with. And two, it is not my fault that the Niners are always in the conversation. It is what it is, people. And so I would start to find other women who are just as passionate about my team as they were about their own and started to plug them in. So we started, to have like a Dallas girl, a Pittsburgh Steelers girl, an Eagle girl. And so I could mix them in, but it was still heavy Niners. And a lot of the fan base is the Niners because of me and how I started. Some of my first videos went viral of me being a Niner walking into the Dallas Cowboy training camp. So, at first I used to get a little bit of, this is a Niner page, but I just knew I had to be patient and let it be what it is and slowly get these other women to show their fandom on our page. But it is a dance because sometimes I want to post a couple of more Niner things, but I just posted something about Brock. So I'm like, okay, I got to strategically put the Niners around other teams because it really is important to me that people know that. If I wanted a Niner page, I would have done that. Done that. It's not what I wanted. I want to hear other girls just as crazy as me. I want to see other girls get dressed for game day like I get dressed, talking the talk, walking the walk. I want the banter on our page. And while I'm here, may I add, I did not go pink. One, because I'm not really a pink girl myself. And two, I did not want to exclude men. It was very important to me that we have men that love women that love football. Like, why would I exclude them? I love their energy. I love going back and forth with men about all things sports, especially my boys, so it is a little bit of a tough dance sometimes, but I'm very aware and I try to give everybody a place. And we follow all hot topics. And some people are like, oh, you don't show anything about the Patriots. I'm like, well, your team has done nothing for me to post about. That is not my fault. Talk to your owner. Talk to Kraft. I don't know what to tell you, So I always have a clap back. So people should know that about me. You better come with something because if you bring something up, I'm probably going to have a comeback to it, Hey, and I got to post about the Patriots today because Stephon Diggs was with Cardi B last night. So I was like, oh, finally, I can at least mention the Patriots. I haven't mentioned the Patriots in months, So we cover the hot topics and what's trending and whatever the girls want to collab with that make the page.
I love it. Okay, what's one piece of advice do you give other women or other people who want to break into the sports world, whether it's as content creators or entrepreneurs or just fans in general?
Oh, man. It's something that you have to follow in your gut, right? If you were to ask me if I would have quit my good paying job of 30 years in the real estate business to start a company called Football is Sexy, I would have never saw that coming. But there was a burning passion that I had for the game and what it gave to me that I wanted to share and give back. So if somebody has a passion, a burning desire that never goes away, you should stop and you should listen to it and figure out how you can do what you love. It's funny because I remember during my years in the mortgage business, they would make you take these tests, these personality tests, and it would always come up that I was supposed to be a CEO. It would literally say that, like, your personality is a type D or something, and I would be like, CEO, like I could never, there's nothing I would ever want to be a CEO of, like nothing. It's like, I don't want to have the drama that my bosses had.
Yeah.
But then I saw this opening for football and I was like, now we're talking. Now I could put my name behind my passion and love for the game and figure out. And I just really just wanted what wasn't out there. I just did. So like, how do you learn the game? There's no way to learn the game. Okay, well now you can go download Football is Sexy app and it literally is for free and it has trivia questions and it's so much fun. People love it and we're still building on that. But like, I was the first to do that. Can you believe that? Like, that was like, what? You know? So to answer your question, I just think you have to follow that dream that burns inside. Now, as far as the content creators, I want every girl out there, because there's still not enough of us. There's still not enough women showing their knowledge, fandom, and passion for whatever reason, but I think they want to. I think they want to. Don't be scared, girl. Turn that video camera on. And some of the best content comes when you're least expected.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to find women that do those kind of things. And I really think we're going to start a movement this year. And at least that's my hope. And I hope these women will start collaborating. And I don't want them just from the United States. I want them from all around the world. There are many, many football fans internationally. So I'm excited. I'll just put a little translation on that and let's go, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited. And by the way, one day, hopefully the NFL and I can have a conversation, because I think there's a lot that we could do to help bring more women to the game.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Okay, our final question for you today. Outside of football and the Niners, what's something that you're really passionate about?
Well, that's actually pretty easy. I love music. I am a big music person, music and dance. And that was the other thing that was always a part of my life. It was always sports and it was always music and dance. They go together. And actually that is kind of what I'm doing. I'm bringing both together. So like almost every post will have music attached. And I know some other pages do it, but not as much as I do. I can confidently say that. And now I'm starting to see they're starting to take after me, but that's okay. But I want to bring music and sports together. I try to choose songs from different genres and songs that you're not going to hear on some of those other guy pages, because they're just so testosterone. Like sometimes I want a little Janet in my, football, or I want a little Missy Elliott or a little Cardi B. And so you're going to find that on our page, right? Mm-hmm. And you're probably not going to find that again, because we are women friendly. We are pro woman. We are so, and again, you'll hear Drake, you'll hear Kendrick on my page as well. But I want to give the girls some love too. So, we try to do it all. But I would say, to answer your question, music. And without football and sports and music, like, what are we doing? Like,
right.
What is there? So if I can marriage those together, I'm all in.
I agree with you. I do the same thing with Dua Lipa. I just love it.
Oh yes, I love her. I got to throw her in there this year. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Monica, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to have you back again soon during the 2025 season. Let everyone know where they can find you and Football is Sexy.
Absolutely. Our main page is on Instagram at Football is Sexy. We are, we do have a TikTok. We'll start really concentrating on that this year. We have apparel and all the things on our website, www.footballissexy.com. Pretty much, we're everywhere, and we're coming for you. So you can find us on all those channels, but mainly Instagram.
Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. Bang, bang. Let's go.
Looking for a boutique that truly understands your style? Alice Bakery Inc. in Novato is your perfect choice, featuring top designers and personal touch. Every customer gets a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. That's why Crave Radio is proud to partner with Alice Bakery Inc.
Thanks to Alice Bakery Inc. for supporting this episode. Thank you for tuning into the 15th episode of our 6th season. Follow us on Instagram at crave.show and follow us on TikTok at crave732.
We are on Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Also make sure you check our website craveshow.com. Ci vediamo settimana prossima. Stay tuned. Grazie a tutti. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao ciao.